Hello farmers, welcome back to the Pacific Northwest. The cotton harvest is finished. I'm working in the grass field over here with the T8 and the big, nice, beautiful prone windrower. And I'm missing some hay. Meanwhile, over in the cotton field, yes, the quad track is cultivating the cotton stalks in, and also the autonomous tractor is with the sprayer, and we're spraying down some cow slurry over there to get the first stage of fertilization in. We ended up, between the two fields, getting 6 cotton modules out of there completely. But yeah, when we started the harvest over here, I think the module harvester had maybe like a half a module in it. But anyways, 6 modules in total, so at 40,000 liters apiece. Yeah, that's a good chunk of cotton that we had to dump off. Well, the last module, I shouldn't lie, it wasn't 40,000 liters, it was 39,000 something. I'm like, well, that's good enough. Let's empty it out and put it over to the side. And hopefully sometime soon, the cotton price is going up. Actually, I think at the end of the last recording, I checked and the cotton price was going up. But my main thing I need to get done today is right here. I need to get this hay field cleared on out because yeah, we're trying to convert these fields over like we always do, one section at well, I shouldn't say one section at a time. We're doing one section at a time. The lower west side, lower east side, and the upper plateau. And now it's just a matter of when it's ready, we go. The John Deere is doing beautifully on the lower east side, taking care of the weeds. I think it's just about done, if not done. I haven't really been paying attention. Just been kind of focused on windrowing and taking care of the cotton field over here, making sure that's all set, ready to go. Yeah, we're just about ready to go ahead and start seeding if I don't have a free tractor down here. I was actually thinking about trading in the autonomous tractor for another tractor of equal amount of money here, because we do have the challenge of trying to get the $55 million loan paid off, and I don't want to do it by selling the equipment that we have, because I could probably do that right now with the amount of money we have left to owe, but I don't want to do that. So I've been thinking about maybe trading the autonomous tractor in, because the only thing I can use the autonomous tractor for right now on this side is pretty much fertilizing. We tried using the seed drill with the autonomous tractor, but the drill weighs too much. I mean, it will pull it, but the problem is it weighs so much that when the autonomous tractor starts to haul it, and the hitch is kind of like hitting the ground as it's pulling along, so it kind of bounces up and down. And it's like Morse code in the field when you look at the PDA. It's like we're planting cotton, but when we look at the field, it doesn't seed constantly. So it looks like Morse code being put into the field. Yeah, the quad track is almost done. I don't want to say I'm almost done, but I'm almost done windrowing up the hay. And then we just have to bale it up and then bring it over to the TMR mixer. Let that turn it back into loose hay again. And then I can take a trailer and we'll take care of the horses at a certain time. I may do that off camera. I don't have that much time for recording this episode, unfortunately, because I've been busy, really busy this week at work. So my time is limited all of a sudden here for recording videos for this week to get the schedule done. So probably just going to have just enough time to take care of the hay here, bale it up, and help these people over here, the quad track and the autonomous tractor, get the cotton field up and ready for reseeding. But I do want to check the cotton price here pretty soon. Yeah, we do have $1 million in the bank account, so technically you can say our loan right now shows $16 million left to pay. So we got $1 million in the bank account, so basically we're going to pay off $1 million by the end of today. No problem whatsoever. So yeah, we're looking at roughly like 15,000. If I can sell the cotton here by the end of the day, if the price is really, really good, we might be paying off $3 million easy off that loan, which would be just perfect for us. There we go. All right, so that is the hay already ready to rock and roll. I need to really move that quad track. So let me turn off this beautiful looking T8. Well, it's a little dirty, but that's what a tractor is for, to get dirty. Let's move this quad track over here so when the autonomous tractor comes around, it can finish fertilizing the field. Yeah, all we use the quad track for now is to cultivate the cotton fields. Now we're just about done actually fertilizing the fields. Actually, I could use the quad track on the drill. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that so we can at least get the project started. Because I need to use the T8 still to make some hay bales here. So we'll drop off the cultivator. The drill is ready to rock and roll. It's already up in the corner way over there. Got to start in that corner because the fence line's too close to the field. And if I start anywhere else, the drill or the worker will not get close enough to the corner of the field to get every square inch possible done. So just as I said, the only thing we use the quad track for is to cultivate, really. Now, 2 seconds later, it's like, you know what? Let's go ahead and just pop this on the drill. I think the quad track can handle the drill, don't you? Actually, there is a farm, I mentioned this a couple times. They have one of these on the farm. They have about 4,000 cattle that they manage for milking. And, of course, I see them use this thing when they're making silage this time of the year. I haven't been lucky enough to go past the farm when they're doing it this year. But what they do is they take a big cement block and put it on the back of their quad track when they're compacting the silage in. And they do corn silage. Let's go ahead and hook this on up. This should be ready to rock and roll. Should be all full. I was over at our fill stations. Someone's going to say, well, dude, this is overkill. Well, of course it's overkill. Why? How else would you do it? You don't want to do underkill. Is that a word? Is that a phrase, term, underkill? It is now. Yeah, so cotton, fertilizer, this field will be ready to rock and roll other than when the weeds ever come along. Articulated tractors. It takes me a minute to get used to driving it, but I'm never in them long enough to get used to it. You go ahead and start seeding that field with some cotton. There, you are good to go. The autonomous tractor is probably going to swing around. I'm going to have to stop the autonomous tractor here because when it turns around and starts going back up there, it's going to kind of get some of the grass field. And I need to do, of course, the hay baling. And we're just going to be in each other's way, so we'll go ahead and stop this worker. There we go. You're good for now. And we'll turn it off. How's the John Deere? The John Deere's done. What the heck is this? What the heck is this, man? What the heck is that? We can take care of that later. The upper plateau is looking beautiful, except for this little spot of lime right here. But what I need to check, because like I said, it's been a couple days since I did the last episode. Let's go to cotton. Oh, the price is going up. So yeah, so the low price was at 15, what was it, like 15, 16, something like that. So hopefully it gets up, I'm looking for 18.50 or above. That's what we're looking for. And we got tons and tons of cotton to go. The milk price is not doing anything at the current stage. And the egg price, we're not too worried about. So yeah, the reason why we're doing some hay, oh, my chickens are going to need some feed here pretty soon. The reason why we're doing some hay is the horses. Yeah, our 3 stables are in the red. We're in the red there, in the red there, and in the red here. Ooh, they need straw and water and all that. So we're going to try to, I'm going to try to tackle the horses here. Well, not physically, but you know what I'm saying. We're going to try to take care of the horses here in the next episode, at least in between this episode and the beginning of the next episode. Because I'm pretty sure after I get taken this all care of down here, I think I got like a day for anything to really happen, meaning field work. Because the lower east side, yeah, that's 1 day that we planted. We got our growth on slow, so it takes 2 days for crops to become from seeding to being ready for harvest. So that's 1 day, so we're like halfway there. And I think it's the same for the upper plateau, pretty much. But hopefully this hay right here is good enough for, I would say, another 3 or 4 cycles of this grass field. So, yeah, we always try to make silage bales out of this field, which usually yield us around $140,000 to $160,000 worth at the barn when it comes to it. But right now, the horses are requiring us to get them some hay. Plus, we also need some hay for some TMR. And boy, we need TMR. We're using pretty much 1.2 million liters of TMR every 10 days for the cattle. Because we have a lot of cattle. zoom on in here. At least my baler is not possessed like it was a couple episodes ago. Oops, almost forgot. I got a little bit of it here. Do I need to unfold it? Yes, I do need to unfold the baler. Let's unfold it. Lower that down. Turn it up. It's unfolded. Don't tell me it's not. No, down. On. There we go. Looks like we're picking up hay already. And off we go. And let's do one of these things. In cab of the T8. So the reason why it's a little wonky here is because, well, the windrower, I put it on my saved course for course play, and yeah, the windrower hit the shed. The big M doesn't because it's not as wide. But yeah, the Krone windrower that we have, I think that Krone, what's the name? Is that I want to say Big Eagle, but I think that might be the modder who made that thing. Yeah, I don't know if the model is called the Big Eagle or something like that. I don't remember. You know what? I got to credit where credit is due here. Let's go in here. Windrowers, Tedders, windrowers, and if we go down here, okay, so it's a Swadro. I think it's called the Swadro, and the modder was Eagle 3, the 355th. All right, there we go. Off we go. Let's get back to making some hay bales. The magic number is 39, correct? We always get 39 bales off this field, depending on how much is left in the baler when we start. And we had nothing left in the baler when we start because, yeah, last time we used the baler, or I had the baler, we were on the lower east side, and we were doing something else, and the baler out of nowhere just came into the field and it was spinning like a top. And it had 2 bales in it still. And I don't know what caused it to do what it did, but it was spinning like a top. And luckily, somehow, I got the hitch next to the baler and attached it to the tractor. The baler whistles trying to fly around everywhere, but I got into the easy command mode and just emptied the baler. Pushed them onto the field, and I just ended up deleting the bales because, as far as I know, the baler was empty when I parked it. So I don't know where the extra bales came from. The beautiful T8. And some people ask me, why is the T8 your favorite tractor? Pretty simple, really. The first Farming Simulator game I got involved in was Farming Simulator 13. And I got it just maybe a month or so before FS15 came out. So I was really, I was like really enjoying it. Of course, being on sales, like, yeah, you don't know about the game, you give it a go. And fell in love with it instantly. And the first big tractor I bought, for some reason, was the T8. I don't know why I bought the T8 back then. And of course, I started using it. Of course, you know, when you first, it's kind of like any game. When you first, every time you upgrade, you're like, oh, I love this. And you love it because it's just better than what you had before. So I just had the T8 and I used it quite a bit. And then FS15 came out. And I used the T8 and FS13 quite a bit. And I never earned enough money on the farm to, say, like go to the T9 or anything other than that. So I just stuck with the T8, and every time it comes around, yeah, the T8's just mine. Always has been. Like I said, not putting down any other tractor, saying this tractor is better than any other tractor, because, yeah, I've sat in a couple tractors, but I've never really driven any too far. So, it's not like I'm a farmer and I've used it. I'm like, oh yeah, the T8 is better than this brand tractor because of this reason. Don't have any reasons. The T8 is just my favorite because of the story I just told you. So that's the story of the T8 with me. So that's why I usually have a T8 anywhere I kind of go. There's some series I try to stay away from it because I know everyone said you always have a T8. You always have a T8. Alrighty there. That should take care of the headlands around here. I don't mind doing the in cab when I'm doing baling because it's pretty simple. You just, kind of drive over the center of the swath and you're good to go. But when I'm in a combine, I have a header that's wider than my field of view. It's kind of hard to see where you need to be. And I'm not that good yet. I know there's some YouTubers out there. I think Virtual Farmer was one I used to watch. I think it was him. He did everything in cab. He could even do like a slurry sprayer behind him, and he would just like, I know roughly where I need to be. And of course, I used to use GPS quite a bit when it first came out, but now I really don't use GPS that often. If I want to be lazy, yeah, I'll use GPS. GPS in 17 was so easy to use because you could have it turn around at the end of a field for you. So it was pretty much in FS17 when you did contracts, I pretty much just set up GPS, walked away from the PC for a while, came back, and it was pretty much done. But now GPS doesn't really help you at the end of the field. At least I don't think so. I don't know. I really haven't checked for any updates on the GPS. So I don't know if it does help you turn at the end of the field yet or not. I don't know if he's ever gotten that far. Wopster is the modder for GPS for FS19. I really haven't been looking at mods hardly at all recently. The beginning of 19, I was looking at mods every single day, going to a lot of modded sites. Probably some sites I shouldn't have gone to, but yeah, in the beginning, you're just looking for mods that would help you out. And now I pretty much don't use mods unless I know the modder themselves. There are some mods I've been using in my other Let's Play, No Man's Land. Mods from Foo Farmer, Missy B, and of course Alien Jim. And all the other mods I've been using since then. But mostly those three modders right there are the ones I've been using. It's kind of nice just to sit in a cab and enjoy a good hay baling. And I'm glad this is virtual because my allergies probably would be driving me nuts right now. And yes, this is a mod as well, the baler is, because you're probably saying, how are you baling at 18 miles an hour? Because it's a flippin' mod, that's why. If I were not making videos like this, and had a big field like this, I probably wouldn't use some of the mods that I use to zip along as fast as I can. I thought about maybe doing another series where I don't use any mods at all for vehicles. I may use mods as in animal pens and such like that, but just use base game vehicles and mods and whatnot, and just have like a clean series. But I have a lot of hopes and dreams of series I would like to do, and I just don't have the time to get to them. I'm running 2 series as it is now, and it's hard to keep up with all the games that we have going on here at the channel. Helper C has finished. What did I have going? Oh, that'd be the quad track. Yeah, the quad track was seeding the cotton field. Well, I need to get him started on the bigger field. So when we get to the end of this row, we'll switch back on over and get him seeding that field. And once that field is seeded, I can speed time back up. The reason why I slow it down is the whole issue I brought up a couple times with the weeds in Farming Simulator 19. I just wish they would somehow find a way that when you're seeding a field that weeds can't grow into it. Because I hate having a field half with weeds, half not with weeds. I kind of like the way Seasons does it, but then the way Seasons does it, and I've only really done Seasons on Hazard County, but the way it did it then was, it wasn't enough weeds in the field to make me want to go out and use a sprayer or a weeder, but those were big fields in Hazard County. So if I were on a smaller map, I may take care of the weeds then. And I remember people saying, yeah, you just take care of the weeds, they won't grow back. But then other people saying, no, you could weed it one day, the next day weeds are in different, they won't grow back in the areas that they were. I'm like, well, that's kind of rough, man. That's kind of rough. You hope you spray for weeds and it'll be done for the season. This cab's a little bouncy going through the field, but baling at 18 miles an hour could do that to you. So we're doing pretty good here on the Pacific Northwest. As I got to remind myself, we're going to go. I probably didn't have to shut off the engine, but I did. Let's go ahead and grab our quad, the quad track, and get him started seeding the field over here. So if you're new to the series and kind of wondering what's going on here, when we first started the Pacific Northwest, I kind of had a story going, and we're kind of, I don't want to say gotten off this part of the story, but basically, yeah, we took over the farm, and the farm had a debt of $55 million loan. People said, what did you buy for $55 million? Nothing. We just basically bought everything that we have and needed, and just took out and just made the loan $55 million. And now the goal is to pay off that $55 million. And we are now currently down in the bank, down to $16 million left to go. And if you're wondering what's kind of hard about that, well, I think to pay off our first $5 million off the loan, it took a lot of episodes. Because every night the loan interest payment was $160,000. And we didn't have as many fields as we have now. We've purchased some fields. Basically, we had these 3 fields down here, the grass field and the 2 fields next to us. So basically every 2 days, we were making silage in this field and selling it to the barn. And like I said before, we usually got about, maybe depending on the price of the barn, we were getting like $140,000 to $160,000 of silage bales off this field every 2 days. But every day, my loan interest was $160,000. So just trying to find the money to keep up with the loan interest was a little bit of a challenge. But once we got the ball rolling, it got a little bit easier. And now, with $16 million left to go, the loan interest payment at midnight is like $41,000, which seems so minimal at this point. And now we own a lot more fields. Our animals are established. So yeah, we're getting a lot of eggs. We got a lot of milk, wool, the horses. And now we got factories as well. We didn't have the factories in the beginning. The factories we purchased as we went along. So we've have expanded the farm. We may even have I bought any new vehicles? That's the question. I don't know if... the Claas, sorry, I think it's pronounced Claas. The Claas tractor that we have in the upper plateau, we purchased that, but I think we traded in, we may have swapped that with another vehicle. I'm trying to remember, did we have a Case? It may have been a Case Magnum or a Puma that we had in the upper plateau, and we swapped it out for... I don't remember. It's been a while. I mean, we are 170 some odd episodes, nearing 180 episodes in here, so I don't remember at this point. So yeah, the challenge is now become more of a challenge of, yeah, you had a $55 million loan. Can you pay it off? The answer is yes. And by the way, I know I mentioned this a couple episodes ago as well. People are saying, well, the pricing, if you were on this map, pricing is so much better. I think the pricing is pretty much the same on most maps. It's just you got to make sure what is your economy setting. And we play on, I always play on hard economy. I think on Hazard County, I may have played on normal economy though. Just because with seasons, I wasn't quite sure how I was going to go with seasons. Of course, it's longer cycles in between harvest and all that. But one thing I didn't take consideration with Hazard County, that map there, the fields were so huge. Once we did a harvest, it was like, oh, that one harvest alone, I could almost, we brought in like $500,000 off of one harvest. And yeah, so I don't want to say it was easy on normal mode. I don't think I've ever played Farming Simulator on easy mode. Even when my first time I played it in FS13, I said, well, like I do in most games, when I play the game the first time, I always say, well, let's just start on normal, just to see what it's like. And if it's too hard or too easy, then we'll change it accordingly. So in 13, of course, not knowing anything pretty much about farming or how the game worked. I didn't even watch videos on Farming Simulator way back then. This was like, well, you know, people farm around here. I've always had somewhat of an interest riding in tractors, so, you know, you just hop in and I started playing. And even in not knowing what I was doing on normal mode in FS13, I had no issue making money. And pretty much after that, it's like, well, let me try hard economy, see how it is. And I'd like to challenge more on hard economy. And that's what led me to when the Pacific Northwest came out for 19. And I did a whole series on this in 17. And I know in 17, at the end of the series, I definitely know it was seasons, but I don't think we started with seasons on 17 in the Pacific Northwest. Maybe I did. I don't remember. It's been too long. So, but yeah, that's when I started on the Pacific Northwest in 19. I was like, what can we do here this time? Because, you know, I did about maybe 90 episodes in FS17. I said, what can I do here? And I was like, I don't know, let's... You know, we always try to do a challenge. I kind of did it a little bit on Hawke's Bay in FS19 to where I said, okay, let's buy a whole bunch of stuff. Kind of the same concept as I did here. And I took out a $20 million loan. I said, how fast can we pay it off? And it went rather easy. And now I think about it, I think Hawke's Bay as well, I may have been a normal economy. I'm not sure. And I said, okay, $20 million loan was rather easy to pay off. And I didn't quite finish that series because there were a couple issues with the map, but I had the base map for when it first came out, and there were updates to it. The problem is an update would have caused me to start a game over, and I didn't want to do that. So I just like, okay, $20 million loan on that map, we were paying it off. And I said, that seemed rather easy, so let's go ahead. And I said, all right, originally, this was supposed to be a $50 million loan, but I think when I finally took over the farm, I needed to buy a couple more things, and it cost me another $5 million, so the loan ended up growing up to $55 million. At that point, when you owe $50 million, it's like, what's another $5 million? Let's just go ahead and take it on out. But anywho, we are just about done riding in the cab of the T8 and making a whole bunch of hay bales. And like I said, if the field is right and everything went as well as it normally does, we should have created 39 bales. And I should mention as well, in case you're really new here, the bales that we make with a baler. Yeah, this baler is a Mata baler, and we make 20,000. These are 20,000 liter bales you see sitting out here in the field. So that bale right in front of us, that's 20,000 liters of hay. Alright, so let me go ahead and turn that off. I'll unload the baler for any bales that are left in it. And we are left with half of a baler, which is 10,000 liters. But if we go into... no, that's the wrong page. Where art thou? What page is it on? Here we go. Session for today. Created bales. Look at that. 39. It's always 39. Always 39. Sometimes it's interesting to know how long you've been playing on a map. This one here, yeah, we're approaching 315 hours of gameplay on this map. Anyways, look at the amount of fertilizer I've used. A little bit, just a little bit. Trees planted, none. Trees cut down. I've cut down 321 trees. Really? That one is interesting. Missions completed. All these missions I did here, and the only missions we did, if I go to the map, were in fields 33, 35, and 32 and 34. We only did missions right here, basically, in these fields right here. Maybe in the beginning we did a couple up here in the first maybe 10, 20 episodes because, yeah, I needed the cash early on, so I was doing anywhere. But it got to the point of we just did the missions in these fields here, which were pretty much fertilizing and seeding were all I did here. But man, just look at some of the stats here of what I've done. I mean, created bales, we're almost approaching, you know, close to the 2,000 mark. And the bales we do here are pretty darn big. And of course, we got all of the other numbers. Worked hectares. We're approaching 20,000 worked hectares here. Yeah, quite a bit. Quite a bit of work is done here. But yeah, that shows 314 hours of my life has been on the Pacific Northwest in 19. And now I need to go ahead and bring the baler on back. park that on up. Yeah, there's a little bit of hay here and there, and that's fine. We just leave it there until next time. We're not playing season, so that doesn't like it decays or anything. And who knows, I may pick some of it up when we do silage bales, and it'll turn the hay into quote-unquote grass in the baler, and we make more silage bales out of it. But always 39 bales pretty much off this field. Even if I start with a half a bale or whatever. Sometimes they get 40 because sometimes they come here. It's almost a full bale that's in there. But most of the time, 39 bales, like I said at the beginning of baling. Yeah, so this episode here is pretty much just a little bit of a, drive in the cab. I'm going to try to start doing more of driving in the cab here and there, try to get used to it. I would say until FS21 comes out, but we don't know if 21 is going to be a thing or what's going on there. I know the Farming Simulator has made another announcement of something that they're going to bring to the game, so I'll have to wait and see. Drop that off in there. The T8 must come out. T8 must always shine in the sunlight. But yeah, like I was saying, this episode is pretty much a little bit of just a nice, easy ride, comfortable ride in T8. Do some hay bales. A little bit of storytelling, so a little bit of background, because I do get asked once in a while, why is the T8 your favorite tractor? Why? A couple people have asked me in the past, how did you get started in Farming Simulator? Which I've gone over before, but I have no problem telling the story every 100 episodes or so. Let's give the T8 a nice, beautiful wash here. And I always go with the wide tires with wheel weights just because that's my style. There we go. Let's go ahead and just turn it off right there. And now for the easy part of the job. Come into a Volvo truck, and I guess, yeah, Volvo trucks. Oh, I'm going to have to change, not cotton modules, but large square bales. Turn that on, and now we can turn that off. Now, technically, this will fit every bale on here because this trailer, this works out perfectly. This auto-loading trailer holds, 39 bales. So, it works out perfectly. Now, I do have one extra hay bale over to the side. But this trailer here will just basically clear out the entire field. And like I said, I'm just going to bring it all over to the TMR mixer, dump it on in there. I think sometimes I might be overfilling the TMR mixer. I probably could do the math and see how many liters I'm actually putting in there. That can hold 1 million liters, or 999,999, I believe. But man, I thank my lucky stars for an auto-loading trailer, because I don't mind doing a small field of bales and loading up because it does take a while. But if I had to do this every time, it would just take up so much. I don't have that much time on my hands to load up every single bale. But like I said, if I wasn't doing videos, I'd probably be doing it more and more realistically, because I wouldn't have to try to. I won't feel rushed to get things done. Not that I feel rushed, but you don't want to see someone do the same job all day long, except for this episode, because we did baling pretty much the whole episode. So yeah, you try to mix up the jobs here and there. I remember the first time I saw an autoloader, and I'm like, yes please. And the first time I used autoloader was in 17. I didn't use it in 15, but I used an autoloader in 17. Yeah, more storytelling. Rattlesnake Valley. A map done by, I hope I can remember his name. Something on my shoe, too. I think that was the modder. But Rattlesnake Valley, a big Montana map. And boom, look at that. The last bale, 39. If you look at the bottom right-hand corner, 39 bales. Yes, 39 bales. Let's make a trip on over to the TMR mixer. Yeah, so by the way, these cotton modules, 40,000 liters apiece, just sitting there, waiting to be sold. We hope the price gets up near $2,000, so you can imagine selling all that cotton, how much money we'll have then to help pay off that loan. But yes, my first autoloader I did on Rattlesnake Valley. I was doing like a grass field just like this, and back then I didn't have a modded baler, so the bales were 4,000 liters. So I had tons of bales at the time, and of course, you know, tons of cows, and it was taking me forever. And I saw an autoloader. I'm like, I'll give it a try. It's one of those things that where you always say, I'll give it a try, and after you use it, it's like, never again. How did I do without? It's a beautiful picture. Just a Volvo hauling a whole bunch of bales, and I don't have to worry about them falling out because I haven't unloaded them onto the trailer yet either. I mean, I could put straps on, but then if I have to take a corner with this many bales on, it may tip over because 39 bales at 20,000 liters apiece, that's going to be a lot of weight. And taking a corner even at this speed here will probably tip over the trailer. So we are coming up on our lovely little cow pasture, if you want to put it that way. That barn there will hold 500 cattle, and I think we're at 400 and something. And like I said, if we go far enough to where we max out on cows, I will buy another cow pasture. And we have 4 types of breeds of cattle, so we'll take 2 breeds, put them in one barn. That way the reproduction will stay at a high rate. And then we'll just have more cattle to feed. More cattle. So yeah, I'm going to put the hay in here. Yeah, the mixer will just then turn back into loose hay, and then I can come over here with a trailer, take the loose hay out, go feed the horses. We checked on the sheep a little while ago, and they were doing fine. So now I just have to go unload into there, and this will go bam. And then I just keep doing this a couple times. Like this. And yeah, I'll just wait to see what the total is in there, because I'm starting at 250,000 liters of hay in there, so I don't want to overload it. It'll take a few minutes for that to register in there. So I'm going to leave that parked there for now. Meanwhile, the quad is busy planting cotton in this field here. It's almost, when it gets halfway through, I pretty much have to refill it with some seed and whatnot. Yeah, I'll get out of your way. Don't worry about it. Don't have a fit, Mr. Quad Track. You're doing fine. You're doing fine. So, no money made in this episode, but no worries. We're only running at 1 times the speed because I'm still planting. But the price is going to go up. That's going to at least get to around 1,800, but hopefully it gets a little bit higher than that. But they'll have to wait until next episode. By then, probably the beginning next episode, we will see what that cotton price is. Because like I said, after we get finished seeding this field here, I will ramp up the speed. But while this is finishing up later on, I'll load the game back up and probably feed the horses and maybe check on the factories to see what they're doing. And I think I need to take care of the greenhouses today. I think the greenhouses in this in-game day are going to need some fertilizer and some water. The issue is, we used to get it from the pigs. At one point, the pigs were making enough manure. I was like, no problem. We'll never run out of manure in the pigsty. The hog barn, as that mod is called. And yeah, we are low on manure, so I may have to go over and borrow it from the cows. Borrow it means that you're going to take it and bring it back. We're going to take manure from the cow pasture. Anyways, I'm going to probably just sit here, take a break for a second, take a screenshot of the quad track seeding the field, which you already know because you may have seen the thumbnail before you clicked on the video. But anyways, that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching. As always, I'll catch you next time right here on the Pacific Northwest. But until then, have a good one.